Yo, welcome to your Ellunia guide. Alright guys, we're going to get right into it. So, we're going to take a look at what Ellunia actually does. You guys need to understand exactly what it does so that you don't die because of it. He hits 3 times and it inflicts damage that ignores the target's defense. Now, this is very, very important. And this is why you will be using a wind team. So when he does his 3 attacks, because you do have element advantage with the wind, he's usually only going to crit you 1 out of the 3 times. So I have tested a lot of full light team, full water, and trust me, you want to use wind. Now after watching this, you will be able to create a team for this no matter what stage of the game you are, as long, and I quote, that you have decent rune quality. Alright, but I'm going to show you exactly how to make this a reliable team more than anything. And then obviously as your rune quality gets better, we're gonna go into speed teams. Okay, you see that I have that Bernard there, and guys, honestly, he is the key. And I know what some of you will be saying, but I use my Bernard on arena offense. Well, I don't care. You really want Bernard, okay? If you have to make a second one, if you are serious about farming Ellunia for your Ancient Will runes or Despair, then hey, just make a second one, or just change Bernard from your arena offense or wherever you're using him and make him a stable in this team. Alright, so the reason Bernard is so good is basically he's going to give you turn advantage because of his speed buff, his attack bar increase, and on top of that, he also does provide a leader skill if you need it, and I'll cover the leader skills in a second. But this also, he defense breaks. He defense breaks and attack power down, which is great. And then his skill 1, now that he is second awakened, does pretty well. He does some decent damage. Now you'll notice mine is not skilled up. You'll have more success if you skill him up. I don't think you need to. It's up to you. Now guys, this is the key basically. It is violence runes. You are going to want to run everything on violence, ideally. Alright, I'm going to show you that it can work without violent runes, but then I'm going to show you that violent runes really make this go. It's basically just free turns, and you see the revenge. It doesn't come into play, you know, it's not crucial, but it's free damage when they do revenge. And that one revenge, what could happen is, say the boss is, you know, got a little bit of health left and he takes a turn. Well, if you revenge him, that means you move on to the next phase with him having 0 attack bar, which is huge. Alright, so I do recommend violence revenge on all your damage dealers, but again, revenge is not crucial. Violent though is. Okay, so let's get into building your team. The way you're gonna build it is, I'm gonna show you guys first the sustain team. Okay, the sustain team uses an Eladriel, or you can use a Michelle. Now if you use Michelle, I just want you to know you definitely want her to be moving after the Bernard. That's the only time where you're going to be moving after the Bernard, if you use Michelle. Now the Michelle is great because she's going to provide that revive in case somebody dies. She's going to provide the healing, better healing than Eladriel, and she's going to elongate that speed buff to 3 turns, so you are going to have 100% uptime on the Bernard speed buff once you're at the boss, because there it carries over from phase to phase. Orochi and Yen. Now I highly, I can't even stress this enough, you want to use both or at least one of them. You want to use at least one of them, and the reason is because of their attack bar manipulation. They both decrease the attack bar of the boss, and also their dots. Their dots, they just kind of do work basically. So there's going to be a lot of times where the dots actually finish him off from one phase going into the other, and if that happens, he does no damage to you because he basically didn't get a turn. So I highly suggest that you build one of these. Now, do you need one of these? No, you don't, but it's just going to be faster and basically better is really the way I can explain it. It's better if you use at least one of them. If you don't use any of them, so this is what I highly recommend. You're gonna need two things basically. You're gonna need some sort of backup defense break, because Bernard, he's just not enough. So in this slot right here, you need a defense break, a backup defense breaker, or those dots. All right, like I said, if you have the Orochi and the Yen, those dots, amazing. All right, but if you are not using both, I highly recommend that you use a defense breaker here. So we are going to be using for this run the Tanya, as she was a Hall of Heroes just this weekend. So she's free to play. Everyone should have her. I'll show you guys. Mine is not on violent, okay? This will be a lot faster and better if she were. So I'm going to cover the non-violent, but again, you definitely want to use violent. And then for the leader, you obviously need a leader skill. Now here you can go with basically, you can move Bernard into the leader skill if you don't have anything better. If you are using the Eladriel, you can go with the HP depending on how squishy your units are if you need it. Lagmaron is a great option. Lagmaron can easily replace the Yen or the Orochi if you only have one of those. He's amazing. You could use the Fang and then switch this. That's another defense breaker. This would be great. Basically any just high damage wind unit. This is basically the team you want. You want two defense breakers, and then the daughter slash attack bar control unit. Okay, so I didn't show the rules on these because honestly the stats or the speeds don't really matter when you're using Eladriel or Michelle. Okay, you do ideally want some HP on them. Pay close attention. You want at least 16,000 total HP on all of them. And that's to survive phase 3. That's about how much he's gonna hit you for when he crits once and doesn't the other 2 times. That's basically the minimum HP. The speed, if you can, 200 is what I have found to work the best. But if you're using the reviver in your team, you don't need that much. You can definitely drop below that. Okay. Now the key to make this 100% successful, and this is if you want it to be 100% successful, it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? So phase 1, you will target the left minion. That's the Shannon. And trust me, it's actually faster if you kill her, because if she gets that buff up, it takes longer to move from phase 1 to phase 2. So you definitely want to kill that Shannon, which is the left one, and then the boss. The thing that's going to kill you phase 2 is that Belinus. You are running a full win team, but you're going to get some crits on him. You should be able to kill him no problem. So you go Belinus and then the boss, and then phase 3, the Oberon, he will probably kill one of your units, but you have the Reviver. Your Reviver should have about 30,000 HP. That's so that Oberon does not one-shot it, alright? That's about how much he's going to hit you for. Worst case scenario, if he did have an attack buff for Fran, which he shouldn't, but if he does. So 30,000, so speed, HP, or triple HP on your Reviver. Doesn't matter, just about 30,000 HP is what you want. Again, you can use the Eladriel lead if you're using Eladriel. But you want to target the Fran first and then the boss on phase 3. Alright, now we're going to skip over to the phases. Okay, here we go. We are at the boss now, and you can see that we're kind of going ham into the Shannon, and we are able to kill it before she buffs, which is key. And now the Yen, look at that. And this is why you want to build the Yen. She can just go ham basically and solo one of these phases on the bosses. So I definitely suggest building that Yen. And then here we're going to target the Belinus. We do have a little, see right there, if you were running the Michelle, she could have healed both, but it's okay. We're going to be okay, no problem here. And then there's that defense break. That's why you want to run a second backup defense break to the Bernard, and then the Belinus is dead, and that's it. You're gonna get past this phase, no problem. That Dryad will not be an issue basically. And then you can see the control from the Yen with that attack bar. So Orochi does the same thing. As Orochi does a 50% attack bar down. And then there is that triple hit. Now it was able to kill my Tanya, and that's because I'm not running her with very much HP. Your Ladro, your Michelle should be able to proc back into their revive if needed. And even here you can see the boss is almost dead, so we wouldn't even need for the Michelle to revive 2 units. If my Tanya was on violent, definitely that will speed it up. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So this team, you'll see 2 minutes and 30 seconds this time. That's it. I've gotten it to 2:19, and that's without the Tanya on violent. So definitely on violent, she'll probably be a lot better. All right, now we're gonna move on to another team, and basically you should have the idea of how to build your Ellunia team with the units that you have. Now we're going to move over to my best team and how it works, and then I'm going to show you how to replace the Fang Yan, which is definitely which is basically the one that's not easily accessible, right? So this is my best team, and this is straight boss. All right, this is ideally the best way to run Ellunia, and I think this could get below a minute depending on your rune quality. Those G3 players with way better runes than myself, you're definitely going to be able to get this under a minute. Okay, now I'm going to show you the runes on my team, and this is just using runes that I'm comfortable leaving on them, basically so that I can leave this as my set Ellunia team. These are not amazing runes, so if you are going to invest really good runes, you can definitely get this under a minute. Using these runes, I've gotten a fast time of 1 minute 5 seconds, and you can see here I'm using a 5-star rune there. Speed, crit damage, and attack. And I mean, look how bad this rune is. Honestly, it's kind of garbage, right? Definitely not G3 quality. But violent revenge. All right, and then the Yen. I mean, she has an attack, crit damage, attack. She could definitely use a lot more crit damage, but she works. Okay. And then the Fang, ideally you do want him on accuracy. I was able to move him to accuracy. I dropped a lot of defense. I was running him triple defense, but because of the turn order, I needed him on speed, slot 2. So speed, and these are my accuracy runes: speed, defense, defense. And that accuracy is just going to help with the dots, the defense breaks, with everything, right? And then the Bernard will move last. So your turn order is Fang, and then these two don't really matter. Either one can be next, and then your Bernard last. So the minimum speed you want to hit is 200. That includes a maxed speed tower and using Oroshi's lead. If you don't want to use Oroshi's lead, say you want to use the Bernard's lead, then 230 on violent. You know, that's a little extreme. 200 I believe is doable. So I prefer using the Orochi lead. From here, he's not going to get another turn, and the Fang, he's going to get that damage over time, and one proc, boom, you know, it just, Orochi got healed for 30% because of that proc. And now here, he's always going to target the lowest health monster, but you can see that it doesn't matter when he kills one of them. And let's see how fast this run actually was. So 1 minute 26. Those of you wondering, well, I don't have Fang Yan, how do I replace him? And actually what works very, very well, unfortunately she does not have a backup defense break, but if you're running the Orochi and the Yen, the Shasun works very well. Now the kicker with this team though is you have to, it's really not an option. Somebody suggested that I run the Shasun, and it just was not working for me at all. I kept failing. But once I implemented the targeting of the Shannon phase 1, it started working like a charm. There you go, the dots finish him off, and that attack buff really helps. And from here, you know, everyone's just going to be healthy all the time, and that's what you want right there. You want that defense break from the Bernard. It's definitely just going to speed it up so much. Shasune's glancing also is very nice, and you see those dots. I mean, they just wreck him. They legit just wreck him. And with the Shasune, everyone comes into this phase at full health, and look at that, it's just dots for days, man. This is why you really want the Yan and the Orochi. And now it's everything's dead. Now again, for this team to replace that Fan Yan, definitely kill that Shannon first. And this team will run. Usually, I haven't really gotten it under a minute and a half, so it'll be about a minute and a half to a minute 50 is what I've noticed with this team, and that's because the defense break is just not there as much as we would like. But that's how I was able to replace Fang, and I've had no issues really as long as I killed Shannon phase 1. How sexy were those dots? And that's the power of the Yen and Orochi. Again, I can't stress it enough. Just build them, guys. Again, if you're serious about farming this dungeon, you should have no problem building them. Obviously, you know, skill ups are definitely going to help. But there we go. See, again, a minute 33. It's pretty consistent, the time-wise. Like I said, a minute and a half to a minute 45, 50-ish. All right, and I will leave you guys with a full boss only run using my Fang Yan team. Thank you guys so much for watching. So this is your ideal team, guys. If you didn't know, now you know. You know.